Let's talk about real estate. Let's keep it.
It's a little market update, huh?
Yeah, just a quick little update. So we are going to be speaking with Omar Pineda with EXP Real Estate. He is a market expert in the Austin area, and he's helped dozens of families buy and sell. So we're really going to be talking, really keep it simple. We're going to be talking about the state of the market right now, the changes coming up in 2023. In contrasting it to 2021 when it was blazing hot. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, let's do this. Omar, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Why did you join the real estate industry?
A little bit. Can I tell you a lot about myself or just a little bit?
Well, we have about 20 minutes. So
okay. Short and sweet. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. I love it.
Okay. So real estate, I came into this game because I wanted to help people achieve the American dream. And I really wanted to change what my day-to-day looked like from my past life, from doing supply chain management for the oil and gas industry. And Austin was a nice natural fit for me, being in a big city.
Nice. So how long have you been here?
I've been in Austin for a little over 2 years now, but I've been in Texas for about 4.
Oh, that's right. You were out in West Texas.
Yes. Lovely West Texas. Love it. And I'm being very sarcastic when I say that, but it got my start here in Texas. So I'm very happy with that.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's talk real estate.
Okay.
What's going on in the market today here in Austin?
Okay. So for 2023, all signs are pointing towards a normalized market. So what do I mean by a normal market? It means that the craziness of you having to go super fast to make a deal, or you having to waive contingencies or appraisals and waive the home inspections are becoming more of a thing of the past, because you don't have to do that to be competitive, because we're not having these crazy multiple offer situations.
Right.
So I say that. So if you're from a buyer's perspective, right, you're going to have more time to make a decision.
Right. Well, I've seen it where you come in like the loan contingencies. As a lender, I'm always watchful of the loan contingency, and it's crazy to see that. I mean, we can get away with the loan contingency, but how about the appraisal and the inspection contingency, or inspection period that is called? People are buying blind. People were buying blind. So you don't see that as much anymore, or currently, or is it still happening?
Inventory is increasing. People are still kind of a little hesitant to buy. So that's going to give more time for inventory to increase, right? Everyone that was priced out, or that had like a VA loan, that wasn't an all cash offer, that was a big thing too. Like if you weren't conventional or cash, then you weren't even being looked at, because the sellers were having their pick of whatever the offer was, and those are always more attractive.
I remember VA home loans with 0 down, which is the best loan in the world. They were not getting their offers accepted because they were coming in with 0 down. And you probably, how many offers did you have like on a particular home? So let's back up a little bit. When was the peak when it was blazing red hot, where you couldn't, I mean, competition was at its
you could pretty much align it with COVID, right? Because the Fed was reacting with COVID to keep interest rates super low, money cheap, so they can, keep the economy going. So when interest rates were at all-time low, like 2-3%, everybody and their mom was trying to buy, right? There was definitely an uptick of a lot of not first-time home buyers, but a lot of second-time home buyers, right? Because now you had all these people with equity in the houses, and they were getting hit up by people like you, right? Like, you have this equity, money's cheap to buy. Why don't we look at a second investment home? Yep. So we did see a lot of that from people, maybe not even in the same state, right? They were looking maybe for elsewhere. So we saw that on top of, all this demand for Austin with business, and like Tesla and the Samsungs moving here. So all that created this perfect storm for the skyrocketing just values of homes in Austin.
Tesla, you mentioned Tesla, Samsung. Who else is moving out here?
I know like Google and like
That's right.
all the big tech companies are branching out and expanding out here because we have positioned ourselves to be very attractive to outside business because we want them here so we can create jobs and create more opportunities for people here in Austin.
Yep,
Mhm.
that's right. So downtown Austin, the
Mhm.
high rise, the skyscrapers.
Mhm.
There's one that's like 70 floors. It's the highest. It's going to be the tallest
Yeah.
in
I think
all
it's.
of Texas.
Are you talking about the one that's going to be like condos? That one, or are you talking about more commercial?
Well, it's commercial. I
Okay.
guess it's mixed use, and it
Okay.
looks like there was some drama with the with Facebook and Google. So they're basically going to own like the top, half of it.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because I know
What?
exactly what you're talking about. Because
What?
I did a tour downtown. It's a fun little tour, and the tour guy was talking about the whole story behind Google and what Google
What is
did.
it? What did? Oh,
So if do you know the shape of the building that kind of looks like a fin, like a shark fin? It's very
Yes.
curvature. So that Google owns that building, right?
Mhm.
But they also own the building behind it, right? And that's I think what you were talking about. They were renting the office space on the top floors of that building, right?
Okay.
And then when Google went to whoever owned that building, like, hey, we want to buy the entire building, they said no. They told them no. So what did they do? This was like in the early days when they weren't as big as they are now. So they eventually ended up buying that building that has that little curve, and they built it in front of that building intentionally to block off that riverfront view. So I actually learned that from the tour guide when I did that when my mom visited me, and I was like, damn, Google, you're showing your how big of a powerhouse you are. So that's a little fun story.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody's coming, like all the big businesses.
Yeah, I
all
mean,
the
if you look at
corporations.
what do you call it? What's that street? Palmer Ranch. That's where all the tech businesses are.
Mhm.
Apple. I mean, everybody in tech, right? They're saying Austin's going to be the next, big Silicon Valley, right?
Silicon Valley, yeah.
And because of that, I mean, because we have the recipe to be successful here, right? We have the space,
land,
and we're still a young city comparatively if you're looking at like San Francisco or LA, right? Even like population wise, I think we were a little, last time I checked, we're a little over 1 million strong here in Austin, maybe like in the 1 million to 2 million like threshold. And if you look at somewhere like LA, I think it was like 10 million plus residents.
Right.
So we have the space to,
that's
help with all the demands coming. So it's exciting to be here. I mean, I think even though we're going to have a very normal market this year, the future plans for future development is not going away. Almost every month you see someone new either interested or coming aboard to Austin. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I drove past the Gigafactory about a month ago. It feels like it was a day ago, but oh my God, have you? It's just unbelievable.
Enormous.
It's enormous. How? Why?
It is true. I mean, they say it's the biggest building, I think, car manufacturing place in the world, and just when you're you're literally driving for like 10 minutes and you're still seeing the building. Just think about that. 10 minutes going like 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. That's a big building. So I can't wait to tour it one day. I want to say certain parts of it's open to the public. I know they had the grand opening and there was Elon with this cowboy hat in the truck and they had these cool little drones. So I'm happy to be here because I get to see all that in real time and just experience it as it comes up.
Yep. Yeah. So you have so Tesla, Samsung,
Apple, huge,
Facebook, Google, everybody's coming over here, right? And how do you think that's going to affect the real estate market? And the reason I say this is because you got each executive, let's just say that executives relocate, senior engineers, all that. So they come to Austin. The cost of living is about 30. I feel it's about 30%, 25 to 30% lower than California, San Jose Bay Area, which is where I'm from. So with that, it makes it very, very attractive, and no state income tax, so makes it even more attractive. So you basically get a raise by moving here. Now, as people come to Austin, they relocate to Austin. How is the housing market going to be impacted? Because it's not just that engineer, it's not just that executive that needs to be housed. you're going to need more oil changers. You're going to need more dry cleaners. You're going to need more food services, house cleaning services. Where are they going to live? And what is that going to do? Since the demand of housing is going to go up for those reasons, what's going to happen with the rents? What's going to happen with the prices? What do you feel is going to happen?
Well, the market has definitely calmed down a bit, right? So because of that, we're starting to see inventory climb. And that's a good thing, because when there's more inventory out on the market, then buyers have more options to choose from. We're not operating this kind of scarcity mindset where when it was a red hot market, there was very little inventory. We're at 3 months right now of inventory in Austin. At the
3 months.
At the peak, we were at point. It was even a month. It was always point something, 0.1, 0.5, which is like less than a month. So that kind of tells you, like, we had nothing. We weren't building fast enough, and the houses were flying off the shelf. So when that's a recipe for the housing to go skyrocketing high, and for people to kind of be priced out. So now that things have slowed down intentionally because of the Fed, right now, we're finally playing a little catch up. We're starting to see a nice trend of more inventory going up. So that's going to be more options for buyers. But to your point, that's we're just hitting the brakes a little bit, right? The momentum that we have in Austin is still going to keep going for the first, like, next 5-10 years, right? So these are all the Samsungs, all that stuff. Those are all big future plans that's going to really, see itself roll out in the next 5 to 10 years. So that's what's super exciting.
Right. Have they broke ground on any of these projects? I know Google has.
Yes.
Downtown Austin, there's like 6 skyscraper, or what do they call those booms? Cranes.
There's cranes everywhere.
There's cranes everywhere downtown.
They're actually, if you were here before all the craziness, Rainy Street, which was like the nightlife here, and it was super cool because they had all these. They were like this, what old Austin looked like as far as traditional housing, and they converted them to, like, little nightlife scene. But all that's going away now because
it's gone.
They're going to be building more condominiums and multi-purpose, property. So it's changing. It's changing, and I sympathize for those who are, born and raised here, because they're seeing it change in front of their very own eyes very quickly. But for me, coming here, I'm like, I don't mind the change. I like seeing the change. I know we're growing. So it's one of those things. But I'm kind of sad to see Rainy Street change so much, because I do have fond memories there and just the whole vibe there. But now I think in the next 5-10 years, it's going to look completely different. Not just Rainy Street, but all of downtown.
Well, even the last 2 years, it's changed so much, because even a year ago, you go down Rainy Street, and there's all these houses, these old houses that were converted into pubs, nightclubs. Well,
just like a nightlife area.
Nightlife. And it was so cool. Everybody's super friendly, but everybody's friendly here. Like Texas, this area, at least that's all I know. Everybody's beyond friendly, and is one of the things I love about the area. But
very welcoming,
But very welcoming. But things are changing. And so, what do you think? What challenges do you feel that the buyers are going to have, especially veterans? Because we started talking about veterans initially, and before we even started the podcast, we were talking about how the VA home loan benefit is one of the best loans ever. But the challenges are, getting that offer accepted in a blazing hot market. So what challenges, if any, do you see for especially veteran buyers moving forward, or for 2023?
Okay, so staying on topic with being veteran focused, right? So the VA loan, to your point, is an excellent product, right? It's an excellent way to, loan product for home. And it's just, I think it gets a bad rep because a lot of realtors like me don't understand it very well, or maybe they don't deal with it on a day-to-day basis like I do. So there's a lot of little nuances that you have to kind of pay attention to, right? And that's really from the very first meeting that you have with the buyer client, saying the expectation of okay, because the VA loan is a product where you have to, there is a VA appraiser, and it has to meet this code, right? So it's livable, and you don't have to do anything to it. So, but that scares sellers, especially if you're looking at an older house, which I know veterans tend to do. They like the veterans I've seen, they want to buy land, they want to build something, or they want to, buy something old and turn it brand new again, right? That's how they are, which to use the VA loan, it's possible, but you just have to have someone experienced, not just in the real estate side, but on the lending side. So they know, because there's different mountains to climb, right? And at the end of the day, we want to be successful. We want to get you to the closing table. And in order to do that, you have to know what real estate to look at. And you have to know like what, how is that, let me go to bat for you, right? How can I negotiate and explain to maybe even, it's not just the buyer, right? It's the listing agent. Sometimes they don't understand, hey, the VA loan is a solid product. The realtor has to know how to articulate that.
Right. So I guess education is probably one of the biggest challenges. That's always been there. I do what I can to educate my realtor partners.
And it's a team effort. It's a team effort from both sides to, educate and, explain. That's a big part of it too, right? It's just calmly explain like, hey, this is what it is, but again, it's timing of the market too, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the seller's decision to go with whoever they want. Right. So right now, for all the veterans out there that got priced out or even looked at in the past couple of years, if you were living in the Austin area, now this year is going to be your time to actually, get to the closing table and actually take this seriously enough where it's actually feasible to actually use your VA loan for once.
Right. So veterans do stand a chance right now instead of having that, competing against 40 offers on that.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, that was crazy. Unless you were all cash or conventional.
And then, most of them, half of those offers were all cash. So as a seller, I mean, you put yourself in the seller's shoes and you get it. It's like, okay, I'm relocating somewhere else. I'm moving. I'm the step or the buy up home. I need this to close as soon as possible, as fast as possible. And even if you have 50% down and the loan is fine and there's a loan and it's a finance purchase, you're going to go with the cash offer because that's
quick.
That cash is king. So now the veterans had it the worst because they're competing against cash offers. Then they're competing against 20% down financed offers. And then finally they go to the 0 down, which is the VA loan. So it's very challenging. And now with more inventory, what do you feel? Do you think they're...
Oh yeah, I mean, buyers are definitely gonna have a lot more time to purchase, and sellers are gonna have more time to either prep their home to get top dollar. So it's a good thing for it to slow down a bit and for things to normalize because that was unsustainable going that quickly. And now, I think the market's definitely different, but it's definitely depending on how you look at it, because it's all a matter of perspective. It's always a good time to buy or sell. It's just a matter of perspective. And if you're a buyer, this is going to be a good year for you. Even if you're a seller, right? If you do the proper things to get your home top dollar condition, you can come out on top too, right? And I know make
it a win-win.
Yeah. I know a big thing with sellers too was if they sold when it was red hot and they got crazy top dollar, a big thing was like, where are they moving to next, right? If the inventory is crazy low. So,
they bought at a hot price.
I know a lot of people that actually sold their home to get top dollar, and then they went to go rent for a year to let things subside, right? Even other realtors I know that did that. So, there's ways around it, right? And it's real estate. It's all about timing. It's all about timing and knowing just like where you're at, because every situation's unique, right? And remember, real estate's hyper local to, your zip code, your neighborhood. When we talk numbers, we're speaking very general. So that's why it helps to partner with a real estate agent that's boots on the ground, that understands neighborhoods, that understands like the pulse of the market, right? That way, you're getting the education and actually good information, because you can Google all you want and look at Zillow and look at market reports, and that's good. So you can have like a nice general idea, but you need someone that's boots on the ground, that's actually gonna, that I speak with other listing agents to see like, hey, how many offers have you gotten? Like, what's the market look like for you, right?
Yeah.
So I can get a better understanding of like what's happening right now, right here.
Yeah, Relationships. Oh my God, that goes such a long way. Just be nice, be cool, talk to other agents. Hey, what's going on with this property? This is what I have. I have a buyer. He's a veteran. He's a badass. He's this, he's that. What's your take on it? How many offers? Or if you can't share how many offers,
yeah. If I don't have if I'm not representing a buyer and I'm just kind of asking with the pre context of like just to get a better idea of like how the market is in this particular area, that's kind of how I frame it. But if I have an active buyer, they wouldn't tell me that. But either way, I will go the extra mile for you because I will make that phone call, right? A lot of people don't make the phone call. They just kind of do their
submit offers. And see
they do their CMA online and they look at the data, which is fine. That's good. You should be doing that. But the extra little mile that you go is just picking up the phone and calling someone because and building that rapport off the bat, right? Yeah. You can build rapport and get maybe, some answers that you can't find online that could benefit your clients. So I do that.
Yep. Good stuff. Omar, we're coming up on our 30-minute mark. Well, we're at 21. I know time flies when you're having fun. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
One thing I always like to say is that I feel like people have this misconception of like, I'm only going to speak to a realtor when I'm ready to buy. That's not the case. I know this process for everybody starts like 6 months in advance when they're really kind of considering and trying to see like what's out there, and that's when I want to talk to you. That's when we can start talking, right? Because I want to be your source for guidance and for education, for information, so I can help you along the way, because this is a journey. And part of the reason why I signed up for this is because I want to help you on that journey. So nice. I'm not gonna, I don't feel like you're wasting my time, because I want to be there every step of the way, because at the end of the day, I'm building a relationship with you. It's not just a one and done with me, right? At the end of it, most of my clients end up becoming my family. So there you go.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Omar, thank you so much for sharing all of these wonderful insights. I know it's quick. I know we can go on for like an hour. I mean, we didn't even talk about tequila or bourbon or motorcycles
on the next one.
Or any of that. But yeah, this we're running out of time. And I hope this information, well, I am sure that this information was very invaluable to our listeners. And again, thank you for joining me here.
Super cool. Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right. So contact information for Omar is in the description. I was going to start rattling it off, but I'll just say that it's in the description below. And feel free to reach out if you have any questions regarding real estate. Now, one more question before we log off. What is what areas can you help buyers in?
So I focus in Williamson County. If you're looking for a home in Texas overall, because I'm licensed in Texas, I have other realtor partners that I can refer you out. So don't think of me as just Austin or Williamson County. Think of me as Texas.
Okay.
Because I can always get you in front of the right realtor.
Okay. So all of Texas.
All of Texas.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And with that, thank you. I want to thank our listeners for joining us today. And I will see you guys soon.